Regarded as one of the most elaborate timber halls, this iconic Tudor oak building holds a secret. It actually shouldn't be black and white. So join me in a moment when I reveal all as we make another escape to the country. On today's show, I'll be helping an energetic couple on a marathon of a house search. But I'm worried when we get off to a rocky start.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
You're allergic to animals, aren't you?
Yeah.
OK, we won't go too close. But finally, we're on the home straight.
The space we've got here is excellent. There's so many things that you could do.
Today, I'm in Cheshire, and this is the 16th century Little Morton Hall near Congleton. Now, normally, timber frame buildings like this would have been left to age naturally. The timbers would be a light grey colour and the plasterwork pale golden. But it was those romantic Victorians who, in the mid-19th century, brought about the trend for these Tudor buildings to be black and white as we now know them today. They were worried that rural Britain was losing its identity to the industrialisation of the country. They wanted to celebrate Merry England's heritage, so they breathed new life into these properties by painting them black and white, thus preserving them for generations to come. Stretching over 900 square miles, Cheshire sits on the Welsh border with Lancashire to the north. The moors of the Peak District nudge into the county, which then give way to the Cheshire Plains, whose canals, built during the Industrial Revolution, are now a draw for narrowboaters, bringing in some of the county's £608 million a year in tourism. Cheshire holds on to a rich architectural heritage, with Chester laying claim to over a third of the county's 5,500 listed buildings, spanning the medieval and Victorian periods. And there's a wealth of historic properties tucked away in its more rural villages, making this a very sought-after area. But Cheshire is by no means cheap. The average property price around here is around £50,000 above the rest of the northwest of England. And there is one sport that has helped prices rise so dramatically. Yep, football. Premiership players from Liverpool and Manchester have all been donning their wellies, albeit designer ones, and relocating here. Wilmslow, Alderley Edge and the village of Prestbury all make up the Golden Triangle. And residents there, well, around 20% of them, have salaries in excess of 7 figures. But don't worry, you don't have to dribble or shoot a ball to score a property goal. There are still some fantastic opportunities around the whole of Cheshire. If you've got a big budget, then this huge 5-bedroom house in Mere could be yours for £1.35 million. The period features in the large reception rooms give it a welcoming cottagey feel, complemented by a bright modern kitchen which leads out to a generous conservatory with great views of the 3/4 of an acre of landscape gardens. For £695,000, this 4-bedroom chapel conversion in Oscroft offers up a wonderfully light and airy modern interior whilst retaining some of its original features. The house is cleverly linked by a walkway to the double garage with open countryside all around. And you can enjoy stunning views for £365,000 with this 3-bedroom semi-detached cottage in Cranage. It has a stylish open-plan layout and upstairs the master leads out to the balcony. A perfect spot to soak up the surroundings over a morning cup of coffee. As you can see, you can catch an awful lot if you cast your net wide enough. But today's buyers have been searching for a very large fish in a very small pond, and for quite some time. So, let's meet them. Property developer James and his wife Pam have lived in their 4-bedroom detached house on the outskirts of Southport for the past 3 years. Although they've renovated it from top to toe, they've decided life in the suburbs is a bit of a squeeze, and it's now time to branch out into the countryside.
We feel we just want space, quiet space. What I'm looking for really is some outbuildings so I can follow my passion, which is classic cars and renovating classic cars.
Well, the type of lifestyle that I'd like is to firstly go a little bit greener. Ideally, I'd love to be able to have some chickens and then, collect the eggs every day. A veggie patch would be lovely, be really good, because I'm very, very much into health, fitness, and eating healthily is very, very important to me.
I think me and Pam both had this idea of living off the grid. My side of it is I like solar panels, wind turbines. I like to be collecting the rainwater and using that for flushing the toilets and things. And just try and reduce everything down.
Up until now, they've only been looking in a very small 6-mile radius, as Pam has wanted to be within a half-an-hour drive from her gym in Southport.
Of all the properties we've looked at, and there's been quite a few, we've found most of them didn't sort of flow properly for us. I like things being spacious, new, with clean lines. Something with low ceilings, beams, I don't like.
They seem pretty clear on what they don't want, so what exactly do they need in their house in the country?
We'd like 2 reception rooms, a dining room for when the kids come round, because with having 2 grown-up children each, you know, we do need the space. A breakfast kitchen would be ideal, because we do tend to spend a lot of time in there. When I'm cooking, James will sit and chat to me. A minimum of 3 bedrooms for when anybody does come to stay.
I'm craving space. I built this machine for making the parts of the wind turbine. Well, I've had to make this smaller than I wanted to, really. As far as getting a classic car in here, forget it. I've got all these machines and nowhere to work.
We're in the ensuite at the moment, which is very important to me, so I would like an ensuite in the new property. Ideally, the icing on the cake would be to have a bathtub in there with a window, so I could look out to some fantastic views.
The key to the move is space. Where we live now, it's quite built up. But we're looking for 1, maybe 2 acres, somewhere I can have my outbuildings and where Pam can keep her chickens.
Fortunately, James and Pam are cash buyers and won't be looking to sell their current house immediately. So how much do they have to spend on their next move?
We could spend up to £700,000 on the right property.
After a year of searching in Lancashire, they've decided to change tack.
We've been searching around Lancashire for a year now and found absolutely nothing. We've hit a dead end, so we've decided we're going to have to move out a little bit and search in other areas. Big decision and quite reluctant, because I would like to get back to Southport, I would like to go to my gym, but I have to be realistic. James needs access to his business, so we think Cheshire may be the place.
So today we have a very healthy budget of £700,000. But Pam and James want an awful lot for their money, don't they? They want a big house, lots of land, lots of outbuildings, and Cheshire isn't exactly a cheap part of the world either. We could find Pam a great house, but at the expense of James's outbuildings and land. Or if we find James his ideal rural plot, Pam may have to compromise on the house. They want to explore the countryside around Chester to the north of Cheshire, so we're confining our house search to being a half-hour drive away from the city, with a trip back to Southport taking around an hour. I'll be showing them a whole range of properties currently on the market, but as ever, I won't be revealing the price tags until they've had a guess first. And as always, there's a mystery house which will definitely stretch them to think outside the box. Good morning, Pam and James.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Very well.
Now, first of all, you've changed your search area. Very brave move. Is this bringing new challenges to you both? And why have you changed?
We couldn't find what we want in the area where we are. There's too few properties. This isn't too far away, and yet there's a lot more properties here. And the area's nice as well, so.
OK, Pam, let's talk a little bit more about this gym of yours that you go to.
OK.
It's not just a treadmill you're going on, is it?
No, I do all the classes. I'm there in the studios near enough every day.
Every day? Wow. So how long are you there?
Anything between 1.5 to 3 hours.
Crikey, that's a lot out of your day. What's the maximum commute to this gym?
Well, it's sort of travel an hour with the right property.
Right, so it's all about the property. OK.
It's mostly about the property, yes.
You have your own property business. You've got buy-to-let property. So you know a lot about what it takes to do a property up and keep it done up, if you like. How much work are you prepared to do to a property if you find the right location?
I think we're willing to work really hard on it to completely change it.
Totally. Or a new build even, I'll do a new build.
OK.
I don't think you're going to find that though, because there's no blocks of land. So.
Never say never. he said hopefully. The budget, is that changed or is it the same?
No, it's the same. I mean, up to 700 for something that's finished. It'd be very nice to get something for 500 that needed renovating and then spend the money on the property.
OK. we have some fantastic properties lined up for you today. And of course, there's the mystery house.
Yes.
So, should we start?
Yes.
Yep.
Come this way. With a budget of £700,000, James and Pam are looking for a detached house in a quiet location which gives them 2 reception rooms, not oldie-worldy, thank you, a large kitchen diner, at least 3 bedrooms with a master ensuite, 1 to 2 acres of land with outbuildings for James's classic cars and workshop, and with a gym close by for Pam. We kick off our house search in the hamlet of Poole, some 20 miles from Chester. It's a quiet, rural location peppered with the clues of its Victorian past, from its humble chapel and cottages to the Shropshire Union Canal, now popular with narrowboats and practically on the doorstep of our much extended first property. The house. Honestly, what's going through your mind?
It just looks a neat little cottage.
It does look neat, though.
It looks finished for the purpose of the people that live in it now, but I think it could still suit you two, bearing in mind what else we've got here, all right? Shall we have a look?
Yes.
Yeah.
This house is made up of 3 parts. The original cottage was built around 110 years ago, with a further gable extension added just over 10 years ago and a modern extension at the back. What's more, there's a real treat in store outside for James. I wonder what they'll make of how it all comes together inside. Here we come. Just wipe your feet. Now, Pam.
Beams.
Beams. Now, these, you can either get them boxed in, get them painted, or get rid. Some of the woodwork you see around this property is needed to support floors, some isn't.
Yeah.
If you got rid of these, could you then live with this room?
This is a nice room. I think this would make an ideal room which is your second lounge, sitting in, reading in.
Like a snug?
Yeah.
I'll go with that. Next one. I was thinking this could be a good little ante-room or a work area, hobby room. But this, I was hoping was more your cup of tea.
Oh, now this is bigger than I expected it to be.
Yeah. This is a nice sized lounge.
This is a modern extension, but it's got clean lines,
It has.
wood burner.
Actually, we'd love a
good,
little wood
yeah.
burner.
Like that.
Yeah.
So how does this feel as a living room?
It's good.
It feels fine, yeah.
And would you be happy with the other rooms off this living room now?
Yeah, sort of secondary room.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK. But let's see what we make of the kitchen, because the kitchen really is the heart of the house, isn't it? OK. Headache pills are needed, I think, maybe for you, James.
Yes, I think that's a bit too close.
But stay with me on this one. I'm thinking this is just going to be a sitting down room. It's your dining room, or dining area. Now, how about this for a kitchen?
Nice.
It's a nice kitchen.
Yeah.
It is a nice kitchen.
Pam, inside you said is your domain, really. You've got to love the house. Do you like what you've seen so far?
I love this. That is just great. That'd suit me down to the ground.
Suit you down to the... I mean, who does all the cooking, by the way? I haven't asked that.
Me?
Right. And you like the kitchen?
The kitchen's lovely, yes.
I'm happy with that. Should we look upstairs then? Well, in spite of the beams, I think I'm winning Pam over so far. Patience, James, your time will come outside. But before that, let's head upstairs and check out the first 2 of the 4 bedrooms. Now, just mind your head here, James. Now, you could do away with this and get these doorways raised. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to use this room for, because it leads into another bedroom, but maybe, I don't know, walk-in wardrobe or dressing room. Keep thinking. This could be a master bedroom. We'll wait and see what you think of the other rooms. That was a daunting sound.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No. The shape of it, the sides coming down like that, it just doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid.
OK, that still leaves one room open to us, doesn't it? If you don't like this roof shape, I am a little worried. Follow me. Mind your head. Down the landing, there's a modern family bathroom with bath and overhead shower and a light, bright bedroom currently set up as a twin. Let's see what they make of where they would sleep. OK, now this bedroom is made to be the master bedroom at the moment. And it's at the back of the property, so it's very peaceful, isn't it? I mean, imagine waking up here, opening the window, and all you hear is birds.
Yeah.
It's nice views. It's a very bright room, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, there's a lot of light coming in
a lot
here.
of light.
But we've all gone quiet, haven't we?
Again, sloping ceiling.
It's quite small.
It is small, this bedroom.
It's got an ensuite around the corner, shower and a loo. Well, they may not be bowled over by the interior, but this property is all about the outside. First up, we're heading to the main stable block to look at a home for James's classic cars. So as you can see, a couple of boxes here for stabling horses, and you can hear one. You're allergic to animals, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, we won't go too close. But what you should be able to see is a really, really usable A-frame building.
It's excellent. Excellent.
I mean, you could get all your cars in here if
could
you so
indeed,
desired. I
yeah.
mean, how would you have it yourself?
Well, you'd take these out, obviously, and I'd probably put a suspended ceiling in just for heating it. And then you put the workshop at one end, you could keep the cars this end, and you've still got space that side. Excellent. Yeah.
I should have shown this first, shouldn't I?
Yeah, definitely.
He's come alive now, he's outside. Great. Smiles from James at last. As if that wasn't enough, there's also a double garage which would make a great workshop for him, and on the first floor there's enough space for Pam to have her own exercise room. There's also a timbered stable block, horse not included. Land-wise, there's currently a manege, but all told it adds up to a grand 3 acres, so plenty of space for Pam to grow her own vegetables and keep chickens, and for James to try out his wind turbine. Seeing what you've seen, I want you to try and guess the asking price of this.
OK, I think it's about, I'll go for, I think it's over 725.
725. OK, Pam. James?
That's what I was going to say, actually. I'll go for 700, but I think I'm being cheeky.
It's on the market for £699,950, so 50 quid short of your guess, James.
Oh.
So good guess. Why don't you go back inside the property on your own and see if you can maybe make it work for you? All right?
OK.
I'll catch you in a bit.
OK.
Sneaking in under budget at just shy of £700,000, this property gives James everything he's looking for outside and answers many of their demands for the house, including 2 reception rooms, one with those clean lines they like so much, a large light kitchen diner, 4 potential bedrooms with a master ensuite, outbuildings for James's classic cars, a workshop, and even space for Pam to have her own exercise room. All of this set in 3 acres, so lots of scope for them to become self-sufficient.
The space we've got here is excellent. There's so many things that you could do. It's picturesque. It's really, really nice.
It's perfect out here. We couldn't have wanted anything better. And I know, looking at James's face, he was over the moon with it.
Oh, the outbuilding is fantastic. Everything we want, exactly, perfect. Unfortunately, and it is, and unfortunately, it's the head height in the house. It's something that I can't change.
The house just hasn't got it for us.
It's all my fault for being tall.
It's your fault, yes.
I know.
OK, all done?
Yep.
Yep.
Don't tell me what you decided. Let's get going and tell me later.
OK.
The Cheshire countryside may serve up some prestigious property hotspots, but for a glut of architectural treats, look no further than Chester. Home to well over 1,600 listed buildings, its historic centre is encircled by its impressive city walls dating back to medieval times. We've arranged for James and Pam to meet local guide Liz Roberts to take a walk through its history.
OK, so now we find ourselves standing outside the ancient city walls of Chester. The walls stretch for a 2-mile circuit all the way around the entire city centre. We've got the most complete circuit of city walls in the country. What we see today largely dates from the 18th century when a huge amount of repair work took place, and they didn't need the walls for defensive purposes anymore at that time, so they made them into the rather nice walkway that we can enjoy today.
These sturdy sandstone walls lead round to the East Gate, historically the main thoroughfare in and out of the city, topped by the East Gate clock, commemorating Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee in 1897. And Chester streets are lined with some unique architecture.
So what I'd like to do now, guys, is to point out the famous rows of Chester. That refers to the galleries of shops on 2 levels. We've got 2 high streets for the price of one, in effect.
Today, the rows are a mix of Tudor and Victorian arcades. It's said that because the hard red sandstone bedrock under the city made it impossible for shopkeepers to dig down to make their cellars, they built upwards, and by the mid-14th century were joined by a walkway. Well, Pam may not be an avid fan of oldie world beams, but I'm sure that even she's won over by Chester's historic charms.
May God bless you all! God save the Queen!
As the day draws to a close, it marks the end of the first day of our property search. James and Pam want to cross the border from Lancashire to Cheshire, and with their £700,000 budget come very high expectations.
It's all my fault for being tall.
It's your fault, yes.
But coming up, our house search reaches new heights. The owner that lives here is 6'6", and he had no scars on his forehead when I met him. And they'll need some blue sky thinking with our mystery house. Our property search takes us just outside the market town of Nantwich. Pam will be pleased to know that the gym she's currently a member of has a branch just a 20-minute drive away. Along with St Mary's Church, Nantwich has over 100 listed buildings to its name, dating back to medieval times. And the timber is a running theme, albeit with a 21st century twist, with this wooden-clad bungalow formerly a pottery.
Oh, wow. I never expected that at all.
I'm glad you said you never expected it, because I'm not sure you would have picked it off an estate agent's particulars. But what do you think?
It's huge.
Now, it is, as you say, a very unusual-looking building. It hasn't always looked like this. It used to be a pottery. Now, I think some of it was built around 1982. What the owners haven't had to do, haven't been hamstrung by the original design of the house. They've had a pretty free rein. And I think the current owner's style, I hope, matches your aspirations for your new home, to some extent at least.
I'm interested to see what the layout's like inside.
You looking forward to it?
Very
Definitely.
much.
Let's have a look. Well, I'm getting really positive vibes from their first impressions. I know James already has a whiff of what's on offer outside, what with the triple garage, so space for some of his cars. But upstairs, above the garage, is a real surprise. It's a self-contained annex with open-plan living area, a double bedroom and bathroom. But let's hope the bungalow puts them in high spirits. Come right in.
Ooh. Ooh. Now that's a big lounge, isn't
That
it?
is lovely.
And I don't mind those beams.
The owner that lives here is 6'6", and he had no scars on his forehead when I met him. Now,
Nice.
this room, well, it's about the same sort of size as the flat I live in. It's 800 square feet. Do you like the style?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
window and the door is gorgeous.
Look at that view.
It is. That's incredible.
I'm probably standing away. Have you seen the wood burner?
Oh, that's nice as well.
Is this something that you would really like to live in?
This is lovely,
Yes,
yeah.
it
Really
is,
like
yeah.
this.
Good. All right. Let's have a look at the kitchen. Things are really looking up. They both seem in awe of the space and style of this living room, and even the beams are getting top marks. Big enough?
Huge.
Yeah,
It is, isn't
very
it?
nice. Very nice.
It almost feels small after the living room, but it is a big kitchen.
Big.
It is. Plenty of workspace.
The reason why I think it looks so clean and tidy as a kitchen is because a lot of the white goods are out of the way. I'll just squeeze past you.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like a pantry.
Good.
It's a handy room, yeah.
Next door is an enormous games room which would make a great everyday snug with views of open fields. But stepping out of the kitchen, we're really bringing the outside in.
Oh. Oh.
That's a surprise. Well, this is a
don't
really
even-
useful outside area, isn't it, that you can use?
Yeah, it's a bit strange, really, isn't it?
Are we outside? Are we inside?
Oh, that's it.
Halfway in between?
Do I grow tomatoes?
It is greenhouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give you the idea of what else we've got here. You've got almost this size space again, the other side of the wall.
It's usable.
Yeah,
it's
winter
amazing.
barbecues.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like this before at all.
Yeah.
Good. OK. Well, let's get out of the heat. It's blistering in here. Let's go look at the bedrooms. Well, they could grow enough tomatoes to supply the whole of Nantwich. All the 4 bedrooms lead off the hallway. One is large enough to be a double, and there are 2 further light double rooms with those clean, regular lines they like. Along with a spacious study for James, there's also a bright, modern family bathroom. But will the main bedroom measure up? Here's the master bedroom. Now, feel free to have a poke around. You've got a dressing room.
Yes.
That's nice.
OK. The ensuite's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Room for a bath in there if you so desire. Ground floor bedrooms. So, what do you think?
That's not a problem, I don't think.
No.
It's impressive.
It's very impressive, yeah. It's a beautiful house.
Nice house.
OK, well, let's have a look at the gardens.
OK.
Start to think about how much this might all cost, all right?
Brilliant. The style and layout of this bungalow seems to be really striking a chord with them. Outside, the land surrounding the property amounts to around an acre, with a play area that would make a fantastic spot to keep chickens. And good news, James, on the alternative energy front.
Looking at the house as well, those are the solar panels, heat all your hot water.
Yep.
The owners have also done some investigating into getting a wind turbine. And apparently this site is very suitable for that. You can feel a bit of a breeze coming up through these fields here at the moment, can't you? Lovely, isn't it?
It's spectacular.
So how much would you pay for it, I suppose, is the next big question.
Oh, dear.
How much do you think it's on the market for?
This has
How much
got
do you think it's
to be
worth?
over budget.
Yeah,
This
it's
has to be
definitely
over budget.
795.
795, OK.
I was thinking more about 7.5.
750?
750, yeah.
It's on the market for £725,000.
Whoa.
So hopefully we're
That's
winners.
interesting, yeah. That is interesting.
Why don't you go and have a good look around the house on your own? There's plenty to see. OK, get a feel for the place.
Okay,
I'll catch you in a bit.
All right.
OK.
The start of today, I was concerned. I know what they're after. They're after the big bit of land, the big house, the huge rooms, and changing tack just a little bit, looking at essentially what is a bungalow, we might just have done it. Let's see.
Although at £725,000, our former pottery is over budget, it delivers in so many ways, giving them light, airy living areas, 4 bedrooms with a master ensuite, energy-saving features with its solar panels, wood burner and real potential for James's wind turbine, outbuildings for those classic cars and a workshop with 1 acre of land, and it's only a 20-minute drive to a members' gym for Pam.
Oh, no, this is a great area.
This is really good, isn't it?
This is absolutely fantastic for the kids.
It is.
Well, from the very moment I saw it, I thought, wow, it's just so different. I hadn't considered not having a first floor, so it's all quite confusing. It's hard to take it all in, but it's definitely a beautiful house.
The size of this room and the outlook, it's really nice. It makes the house, doesn't it?
You could sit in here for many an hour and not get bored.
You could. This is a very nice house. This room's great, bedroom's great, outside area's great. There's enough space for my workshop and storing the cars. We've got somewhere for chickens, we've got the green aspect going on, everything. Excellent.
We're smiling. This looks like good news.
Yes.
Seen enough?
Yep.
Let's get going then.
Okay.
Right, so.
With such a wealth of historic buildings spanning the county, I really am spoilt for choice, but I couldn't resist visiting the utterly gravity-defying Little Morton Hall. As a former surveyor, it's the sort of building that sends shivers up my spine. So to get a closer look at this marvel of Tudor workmanship, I'm meeting Rebecca Douglas, who works at the house, now maintained by the National Trust.
So, Rebecca, you're the lucky lady that lives in this house. You sleep in here?
I do, yes. There's 2 flats.
I don't think there's anything flat that I can see in my eyes. I mean, looking at the building from the outside, I would get sleepless nights. It looks like it's almost ready to fall down, is it?
It's not, fortunately. There's been a lot of work done over the years to make sure that the property is stable.
OK.
But it does look very wonky.
Well, Rebecca, I'm dying to see the history of this place. Can we take a look?
We can, yes. I can take you through into the courtyard and I can show you what was built and when.
Fantastic. Lead the way, please.
OK.
The house's architecture charts the Morton family's fortunes over 100 years. As they prospered, additional wings were added, but it all started on the north side of the courtyard.
Goodness me, look at this. This is amazing.
The first stage of the building is really what you see directly in front of us. That was started off in about 1504. The windows were added in 1559 by a carpenter called Richard Dale.
So there were no windows at first?
There would have been very few windows. Glass was really, really expensive.
OK.
So it was only when they became more wealthy and that they wanted to express that wealth that they decided that, you know, windows was the way to go.
The Tudors didn't dig down deep for their foundations, but the Morton family certainly raised the roof in the Great Hall, dating back to the early 1500s. Some 70 years later, they were still building upwards with the addition of the Long Gallery, which teeters above the South Range and was used by the Elizabethans for playing games and promenading.
This is the most wonky, higgledy-piggledy building I've ever been in. It's almost got its own terrain, hasn't it? But then
has.
This was built on top of an existing building, built, what, some 50, 60 years later?
Yes.
And as we head to the upper porch room, I feel my surveyor instincts kicking in to straighten things out.
As you can probably feel, again, it's fairly uneven.
I almost want to hold on.
This is one of our fireplaces.
Looks like it's leaning,
Higgledy
looks
itself.
like leaning that way, doesn't it?
It does, but actually it is fairly straight.
That's straight? Mm-hmm. OK, well, I'll be the measure of that. Let's have a look. I normally carry something like this with me. It's pretty plumb, actually, which means that must be the bubble. That's amazing. This is the most wonky place I've ever been in my life, but it's probably one of the most interesting buildings I've ever been in as well.
Groaning under the weight of its 600 years of architectural history, this building stands today as one of the best preserved timber frame manor houses in the country. So, it's mystery property time. Now, Pam and James did say they're prepared to look at a renovation project, and this place could be just that. Depending on how they look at things, it might even be a little bit more. Our mystery property takes us to the small village of Little Budworth, just under 15 miles from Chester. But nearby Tarpley picks up the prize for wearing its village pride on its sleeve. As well as a post office and welcome pint on tap, it's full of well-preserved buildings and traditions, with the country's very first voluntary fire brigade founded here 140 years ago. James and Pam seem happy with the idea of a bungalow, but how far can we push it with our mystery proposition?
Welcome.
Ooh! It's a bungalow.
Small bungalow?
Small bungalow.
What is it, a small bungalow? What is a small bungalow, not a small bungalow?
Well, you can knock it down and build something else.
Correct. Let's have a closer look. Now then, positioning.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Location's good.
Yeah.
It's quiet, isn't it?
Yeah.
This bungalow, believe it or not, has already been extended, but we've spoken to the planners who say, in principle, provisionally, they've got no problems with it being extended by another 50%.
Right. Could you go up?
Only by another metre. But you do have a slope of land there. You've got a good foundation there. Is that something you'd be keen on exploring?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you know we like challenges.
Yeah, you both like
Yeah.
challenges, don't you? But by the sounds of it, that's a challenge maybe for the future. But as it stands, I want you to give this home a fair crack of the whip, OK?
Yeah.
OK.
Let's have a look.
Well, I'm pleased they're happy to sign up to a challenge, as this could be a developer's dream.
Right, let's start off in the kitchen. I'll say the kitchen area. Come through.
Kitchen area.
Keep it all in mind.
Yeah, OK.
Kitchen into a dining area, into a dining room.
All right, yeah.
What's going through your mind, Pam?
Well, I suppose this is... Get rid of this, one big kitchen.
Oh, I thought you would have said that, yeah.
Yep.
Every room I'm going to show you, I'm going to encourage you to knock on walls, to look at what's load-bearing and what's not, because every room that we see doesn't have to be as it's used now. This doesn't have to be a kitchen. It's just potentially a quite big space.
So now they're starting to fire up their imagination, let's check out the rest of the property. At the end of the hallway is one of the 3 bedrooms, a light single room which could be transformed if they want to get creative in the bathroom.
OK, so I was quite surprised by this room.
Oh,
Yes, they've done this room nicely, haven't they?
that's a nice bath.
Yeah. Oh, the tap. Look at that. It's quite cool, isn't it?
Oh, is that the tap?
Yeah. So...
I was wondering why there was a toilet roll holder in the back.
Listen, I thought it was for the
Okay.
newspaper. Now, look, it's, you know, there's no natural light in this room. There's a single room next door, single bedroom, which I think is neither use nor ornament. And bearing in mind that could go, it would be a beautiful bathroom then, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, yeah.
Living room next. Let's see what you think of that.
Okay.
We'll see if we can build on that creativity in here.
Sliding door. Now then. I heard you like modern.
Yeah.
Hang on, he's off. What's James looking at?
Is that the neighbours?
That's the neighbours.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You shouldn't be worrying about that there. I mean, this whole house, in your words, should be facing that way.
Yeah.
OK? Now, at the moment, this is a living room. But what would you like it to be?
Well, you could possibly divide the front off and make that a hallway, because it does go through to other rooms, I presume.
Yep.
And then this space you could use as a bedroom or something.
Already you're managing to turn these things around and to reconfigure this house. It's quite promising. But at the moment, it seems now, I'm adding this up as we go along, kitchen area could work.
Yeah.
Big bathroom, spare bedroom, entrance hall. So let's see what we've got in the back, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah.
At the opposite end of the property, there's another sitting area with great views over open fields. But next door, Pam's got the sledgehammer out.
Go on, knock on the wall. Can it be knocked through?
I think so.
There's nothing that guy can't knock through.
Yes, you could.
You're mentioning knocking that wall down because...
You make
So it
this a
would be
bigger
nice, big
bedroom.
Make it a lovely bedroom then. Look at
Yeah.
the view out there.
Yeah,
And-
it's a good view.
You may scoff, Pam. That's an ensuite through there.
Ooh.
Our mystery bungalow gives James a great chance to engage his property developing skills. Perhaps the outside space will tempt him to give it serious thought. Although there's currently an outbuilding with storeroom and workshop and a double stable block, I imagine James, with planning consent, might want to rebuild them from scratch. But here's my big proposition for them.
So then, how much of this land would you like to be yours?
Oh, well, all of it.
All
would
of
be
it,
nice.
yeah.
Well, you've got all of it.
Yeah.
You've got 3 acres.
Really?
As far as your eye actually sees, you've got.
Wow, that's a lot of land.
That's a lot of land.
And then look back
And the little bungalow.
at the little bungalow that is at the moment, and maybe the opportunity to build a house. With that in mind, how much do you think this place is on the market for?
That is a difficult one, isn't it?
Now then.
Nice. I'd go 250, 300.
Oh, right. I was going to say more than that. But there again, I haven't got the faintest idea.
I'll ignore what he said
Yeah,
and have a guess.
I was just going to go for a stab in the dark and say 450.
Well, you're closer. It's on the market for around £400,000. OK? To give you an idea of how desirable this sort of property is, the same agent sold a similar house to this with a much smaller plot of land for a similar price just a short while ago, within 4 hours. This may be the only opportunity you get of building your own home in this part of the world with land. So take as much time as you want to have a look around here, if for nothing else, to write that idea off.
Yep.
OK?
OK.
This is a rare opportunity to buy a wonderful slice of land, which, with appropriate planning consent, could be their passport to a new bespoke country home. At just under £400,000, our mystery bungalow, as it stands, offers them 2 reception rooms, a large kitchen diner, 3 bedrooms with master ensuite, and 3 acres of land in a great rural setting.
As a mystery property, it was a good idea. The thought of either building our own house or, you know, extending a bungalow is something we have talked about, and it would have been marvellous. But I think with this one, it's just a little too close to the neighbouring property, and the amount you'd be able to extend is not going to be enough for us, really.
The mystery property is in a really nice location. It's got 3 acres of land, exactly what we're looking for. The house itself, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work for us. I'd like it to, because it'd be a project I would thoroughly enjoy doing. It'd be nice to build exactly the house that you wanted.
How did you both get on? Have you redesigned it?
OK.
In our heads.
In your heads, good. Well, listen, you've seen everything now, all that we've got to offer.
Yeah.
Why don't we find somewhere quiet and get together, have a chat?
OK.
Good idea.
James and Pam's property search is now at an end, and I think we've given them a lot of options to mull over.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've got a fair idea that the converted pottery is James and Pam's favourite. They've always been very vocal when they don't like something. In the pottery, they said some very, very nice things, but I'm not sure how much they love it. I'm not sure whether they're prepared to commit to this house. I'm looking forward to finding out. Here we are. Relaxing, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We are, yes.
Discussing, have we been?
Mm-hmm.
We have been, yes.
How do you find Cheshire? Is it somewhere you want to move to?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we like it, definitely. I think it's got a very good chance that,
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cottage by the canal.
The location of it was fantastic, near the canal. And it looked lovely, and especially from the back of the property, when you looked on it, it looked idyllic.
Obviously, I like the outbuildings. Without a doubt, they could be very easily adapted to exactly what I wanted. Excellent. Unfortunately, the stumbling block was the head height.
Well, not so much a stumbling, but more of a banging block, wasn't it?
It.
All right, I think this was maybe one of your favourites. The white building, we got on pretty well there, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's quite special, that one.
That was, yeah. From the start to the end, absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Great.
That lounge was just, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
In fact, the
entrance
beams
was great.
made that one.
It was a massive house,
Yeah.
but it still had the outbuildings. Could you make those outbuildings work for you now?
Yes,
Reflection?
you could, yeah. But there's plenty of space at the back of them to build a really good workshop. Plenty of space.
There was room for your hen houses. There was a
Yeah.
huge greenhouse. I mean, you were going to have to be busy there.
That's the idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's fantastic, yeah.
OK, well, I say this with a wry smile on my face. The Mystery House. Oh, now you're laughing.
That was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun in it, yeah. What do you think?
The gardens were fantastic.
I think for us, for what we want, what we'd have to do is knock it down and start again. And it would be cheaper to do that, I think.
Yeah. With all the properties in mind, I've got a fair idea what you're going to say here. Your favourite property is?
The converted pottery.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
OK. But what's next for you?
I think I need to look into it. The issue with that is the softwood cladding. We need to find out why that's been done as a planning issue and what can be done to resolve that.
Is it a potential goer?
Yes.
There's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
If it was brick built, there'd be an offer on it now.
Yeah, if there's a brick skin on it now, there'd be an offer in.
But if there's a solution in the covering?
Well, then there's a very good chance of putting an offer in.
Well, that's fantastic news. I wish you the very best luck. Hopefully,
Thank you.
all the right answers are there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has.
It has.
Well, at the end of the day, that's promising news. If you'd asked me this question at the beginning, I would have been surprised to have even got this far, but fingers crossed James will get all of his questions answered and they can go on to the next stage. If not, one thing is for sure, Pam and James are certain that they want to escape here to the beautiful Cheshire countryside. Join me next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.